Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
53, Mike 53. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Yeah, and he's going to keep it here. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They run it with Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this 1st down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. This is Carson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him. You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson dancing to his left. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
One left. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Check.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Brandon Graham applying the heat off the edge.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Right off the bat, they start with a very solid, methodical 10-play drive.
And you know me, I tend to look at things from the defensive side. They're coming off the field gassed right away. We're in the first drive of the game. So it's not just what happened, but think of the emotion you carry into a game. then double it with getting a 10-play drive put on you and points scored, they're pretty tired right now.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Stop your whining.
Now Howard. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
65.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Shotgun now for Wentz. This is caught by Jackson. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38.
Right there. Hey, Sam.
54 Mike.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing. Hey, wahoo!
Wentz gonna throw.
He's checking.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys didn't come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 21.
Down the man inside. Down the man.
This is Howard on second down. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Hey, red 5-2, out here.
Now Wentz on third down. Flushed out right. It's brought in by Jeffrey. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3. Give him 3 on the gain there. Second and goal.
A gain of 3 brings up second and goal at the Seahawks 5-yard line.
Howard all alone in the backfield on second and goal.
57.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run as they are now on the board here in the first half. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. From the 24, went on first and 10.
The downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier.
Intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. How about that for a little jolt right before intermission?
It's not often talked about scoring on defense, though. That's extra mo.
And now they may take the lead into the locker room as well.
Straight 15, straight 15.
Mike 5-4. 6-man.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Sanders. And he is not going to make it to the goal line. So the defense holds, and this remains a 5-point game. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Yeah, especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Wentz. Completes it to Aguilar. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And a short kick taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
Lion. Hey, we're good, we're good.
They go with Howard again. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On third down, this is Howard. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check 49, check 49. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
On first down, Howard. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Go, go. Slam, slam.
61, matchbox light.
On second and 12, Wentz. Flush to his right. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
After the interception, here's Wilson, sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll pull it down, and he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run with Howard. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He's coming, he's coming. Boss. Hey, empty.
Again, it's Howard. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing his Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. He wants it all for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jordan Howard. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Wilson eluding the pressure right. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Wilson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Running with Howard. And an alley to run. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Wentz now on first down. That's complete to Jeffrey. And so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 54 yards. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Try to punch it in with Howard. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott on for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. He lets it fly for Lockett. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. So they take over.